And good morning. Welcome to Sports Talk. Cloudy, dreary for the 35th day in a row.
Yeah.
Nah. It's actually, better than the heat, Mike.
Yes.
I know you're not a fan of the heat, the humidity. We still had a little bit of humidity.
Yeah, but you're right.
Bearable.
And
we haven't had just consistent rain either.
No.
Nothing like we thought we were going to get.
No, I don't think it was anything close.
Yesterday the most, though, on High School Football Friday.
Yeah, they're around lunchtime, 11, 12, 1 o'clock. I thought perhaps it was going to be a steady rain throughout the day. That didn't happen. And then it dissipated kind of
right
later in the afternoon.
Hour before kickoff.
Yeah.
At a lot of places. Hour, 2 hours before kickoff.
So did we have?
And it did rain some
around
where I was anyway, around halftime. But, it was like 20, 30 minutes and gone again. So,
were there any games that were casualties of the rain? Some, right?
Oh, yeah.
Across the state.
Yep. Yeah. Way across the state, like Bunker Hill.
Way across the state
Bunker
to
Hill
Claremont.
did not play their game. Hickory did not play their game. Statesville, West Iredale did not play their game. That's just three that pop in my mind.
Well, Western Foothills 3A, yeah. Well, only half the games were played.
Two Lincoln County teams. All four Lincoln County teams were in action last night. Catawba County was probably, when you take out Hickory and you take out who else did I say just a minute? Bunker Hill.
I was just wondering if they wouldn't try to play those games because then you're also facing maybe COVID issues down the road, rescheduling those kind of games. I'm a little surprised.
Just schedule them every 4 days. You'll be all right. Get everything in, right?
All right.
And then playing on Monday night, even if it's no COVID issues, playing on Monday night and then again on Friday can be tough, especially if it's tough opponents. It can be a little dicey.
But you can play every 4 days, right?
Yeah, 3 in a row off, and then you can play.
3 off, then you can play.
Yeah. But still a lot of games played last night. We're going to get into those in a little bit. I do not recall anything that I did see last night, and believe me, I haven't seen but maybe a third of the scores on the western side, but nothing that shocked me score-wise.
No. Not
even margins or anything like that. Of course, there's another classic played in Cleveland County, it looks like, between Shelby and Crest, and we'll get into that one a little bit.
It looked like Shelby was going to run away.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you got a game, right?
Suddenly you got a game, yeah. Well, I know they were up 2 touchdowns early. Was that as much as they?
No, I think wasn't Shelby up 28-7 at the half?
Were they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You would have thought, that it might be game over, but I know it got within 7 at one time.
Yeah.
Don't know if it got any closer.
Yeah, it got 35-28. I don't think it got any closer.
Yeah, Shelby did hang on for the Cleveland County win last night in that matchup. Man, what a week of sports, things that are going on in sports. Did I ever tell you guys how much I love the one-game playoff?
Well, you do this year.
I sat in here last Saturday and just told you how it's wrong.
How bad it is.
It is, how bad it is. And then, of course, Tuesday night about midnight, I was thinking, hey, this isn't so bad after all, But, I still don't like it.
After that walk-off homer, you felt better.
Yeah. No, that had nothing to do with it.
No.
Nothing to do with it, did it? Which one you talking about?
He's playing. Okay.
Yeah, it did. It had a lot to do with it. I'm just messing with you.
I know.
But, even though my team wins in that one-game scenario and probably couldn't have beat the Yankees in a 2 out of 3 or a 3 out of 5, I still don't like it. Don't like it. And had the Boston and the Yankees, to me, still a little different than being the Dodgers. Had the Dodgers lost that game, and fortunate for the Dodgers, and I think for all of baseball, they won that game with the second best record in all of baseball and did make it to the championship. I don't know what it's called now. Divisional series, maybe. But and it's not the end of the world.
Well, the team,
if you fall behind 1-0 either.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it for the Dodgers to have to play in that after winning the second most games in all of baseball. But I think the team it's really unfair for is the Giants, because now there's 8 teams left. They have the best record, and they're playing the team with the second best record.
Yeah.
Yeah, both teams are penalized.
Right.
That's what it comes down to. Both teams are penalized because we don't seed by record. It's division.
You'd rather see
first.
those two teams in the.
They should be playing at the end.
If
they're able
the
to
league
get there,
championship,
if they're able to earn their way to get there.
Yeah.
And as good as the Brewers can be, I don't think they're as good as either one of the California teams that are playing in this. I didn't get to see a lot last night. I slept through a lot of it. I did wake up and see the end of the Giants.
Pitching Jim, 7 innings.
Yeah, and what's the guy's name that looked like he should be sitting in an office behind a desk somewhere?
Yeah.
Every time I looked at him, I thought, man, he just does not look like the athlete.
Logan Webb.
Logan Webb.
Yeah, he was awesome last night.
He was.
10 strikeouts.
They haven't lost a game at home all year that he started.
Is that right?
Now, his record was 6-0 or 7-0 at home, but the team hadn't lost a game the whole year.
Starts.
And his ERA was under 2 at home, and I think over 4 on the road, which sets up perfectly for the Giants. If it happens to go 5, it'll be him at home again.
Game 5.
Yep, that's why if you're the Dodgers, you have to steal one today.
Yeah.
Go home and win, too. That's Boston. See, Boston.
Yeah.
Boston stole one on the road last night.
But I think in a 5-game series, once
not,
you get down 1-0, you just have to hope there is a 5th game.
And I would be willing to say that the home team wins game 1 in those 5-game and in those 7-game series. What percentage would you guys throw on that the home team wins game 1?
60%.
Oh, I was going to say 80.
Well, I think it's even more when you have, like, L.A. and Boston coming off of winning a big wild card game, celebrating all night.
Yep.
And then
one team is highly
then you have to travel.
Getting to play. Yeah, and then
I didn't expect the Dodgers to win last night. I didn't expect them to get shut out either. But
if you're going to win those series, those 5-game series, game 2 is the most critical game.
Yeah,
for everybody.
Yeah,
even the winner of game 1, game 2, I think is the most critical because, the Giants, if they lose today, they could still not return.
That's right.
To San Francisco. They may not get to
and
come
do the
same way with Tampa.
White Sox look like they have any chance at all?
No.
I mean, that series looks like it's over.
Yeah. Well, what did I text you the other night when the Astros were on TV? What did I say?
World champs.
I said your world champs are playing on television right now. I still believe that. Brett said, "Oh boy, I hope not." You know what he said, Mike? I'd rather the Giants win. That's what he said, didn't you?
I would rather. I would pull for the Giants over the Astros in a World Series.
Is it because of the conspiracy several years ago, or is it just because
there's only been one time I really didn't like the Giants, and that's when Madison Bumgarner was pitching for them.
Mad Bum.
No,
I'm not going to
pull for a Caldwell County post 29er.
Post 29, post 100 thing.
I like it.
Now that he's gone, I'm okay with him.
Okay.
The hatchet is not buried.
They don't have any player that I don't like. They don't have any coach or anything.
Oh, I think
they don't have too many players you even know, probably outside of Posey and Brendan Belt and a few more.
Yeah, but
no name team.
Yeah, well, I know him because I've watched him play, 20 times or so this year. But a lot of people don't know.
With the exception of the New York Yankees, who doesn't have a no-name team right now?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, well, the Brewers really have a no-name team.
I even think Boston does.
Especially around here.
Boston don't have the Mookie Betts, the Jackie Bradley, and who was the third outfielder that they let go?
Benintendi.
But they're gone, I mean,
but these guys,
he wasn't a household name, or I remembered it, right?
Other than Mookie Betts, the guys Boston has at the top of their lineup are better than what they had on that team.
Your home team Braves, you can't name.
I could see that.
No,
Braves are
just Freddie Freeman is about it.
And every time you get a name, they seem to get injured and go out for the rest of the year. But
I think Boston's, I guess 2 through 5 is, and I know that they move them around, but Schwarber, Bogarts, Devers, and J.D. Martinez, that's as good as you can find in baseball.
Yep, that's pretty good. And
then the former Dodgers last night, Kiki Hernandez and Verdugo, I think they went 8 for 11 in that game, maybe 9 for 12.
Good trade.
And then Jock Peterson, another former Dodger, he hit a home run for the Braves yesterday. And meanwhile, the Dodgers can't
struggle. Maybe it's just an L.A. thing. Maybe they get out. And who's the hitting coach for the Dodgers?
I can't even remember who
There
it
you
is
go.
now.
Maybe-
Who's the projected
maybe it's a problem.
pitching starter for the Dodgers?
It'll be Urias tonight, the 20-game winner.
Right.
And he was prepared to come in on Wednesday night, right? They had
Yeah,
him-
he would have
he
if
was
they
prepared
needed
to
him.
come into
Yeah.
that one game. Playoff.
Yeah, he's last year they used him a lot out of the bullpen, but with the Kershaw injury, that's going to be tough to do. They need him as a starter.
I do like Boston chances if they can score 2 touchdowns a game. If they can average 2 touchdowns a game. Football score last night with their win 14-6 over Tampa Bay. The problem is, I love them playing in Fenway. I always have, and I think they have a great advantage in Fenway because of the crowd. But guess what? The other teams hit better in Fenway too, and that worries me a little bit that Tampa's going to come in there and take advantage of the monster. And
I think that one's going 5. I think Tampa will win 1.
I'll take
in
my.
Boston.
If you tell me right now it's going 5, I'd take.
Oh, yeah,
that.
I would too.
I would say okay. Yeah. The only problem there is I'd love for as a Boston fan win 2 at home. Don't have to go back to Tampa and win, but if.
And I don't think either team really has a dominant starting pitcher.
What about Tampa though? I mean, what can you say about Tampa? Starting 3 rookie pitchers are starters, and look where they are. I mean,
they just keep on.
Names on the back change, but the wins still add up in that win column. It's amazing what they're doing right now. I mean,
it seemed like last year they had a much better pitching rotation. They let Blake Snell go. Charlie Morton signed with the Braves, and then I can never remember the tall, long-haired guy's name
exactly
that he throws at 100, but he's out with an injury.
Right.
So that was our 3 main guys last year.
Yep.
None of them are there right now.
I'm sure I'll get somebody's going to fill me in on that name. It starts with an A, don't it? I'm trying to remember what his name is.
Which he wasn't great in the World Series last year. But he probably came into this season as their number 1 guy. I'll find it.
Yeah, it's one of those names that it's a little different, but I for some reason it escapes me right now. But
Glasnow.
Yeah, I was really close. What starts with an A?
It's got an A in it.
Yeah, that's what Lenny says. Glass now hurt. And I didn't know if he meant the glass is now hurt or glass now hurt. But Mike would like the glass is broken.
I've loved that play on words all season, actually.
But a big win for Boston last night, 14-6. They rebound. The other big game last night, San Francisco shuts out the Dodgers 4-0. Brett might be, I don't know how many runs did the Dodgers score? 3? Was it 3-1? That final in that one game.
Yeah.
Using the long ball to win that game on Wednesday night.
And last night, all the Giants' runs came on home runs.
Wow.
Which they hit the most in the league this year. Yeah.
How many was that? You mean they out-hit the Yankees for home runs?
Yeah,
I know they out-hit them for average, and I don't even have to look.
I don't know how many the Yankees hit, but it was pretty close at the top. I mean, they hit – whoever was second had 2 less, and then I think the Dodgers had 4 less than the Giants. But
Mike, you'll like this. And when the Red Sox did end the Yankees season the other night, I sent Brett and Lenny both a message. I said, typical Yankees game. They struck out 15 times and hit 2 250-foot home runs. Because
Fenway.
And they went around Pesky Pole. Both home runs went around Pesky Pole, and that's the shortest part of the ballpark. So
yeah, and I read somewhere that Stanton, who did hit a home run in that game, he would have had 3 home runs if that game had been in Yankee Stadium. Because he hit two fairly long fly balls in Fenway.
You just
they
said
would have been
fairly
that would have been home runs
in
the
Stadium.
Small Yankee Stadium.
Yep. I told you guys I saw a picture. I'm not exaggerating. An old picture when that thing used to be. I think it said 264 or something like that in the power alley. In the power alley. So they have backed it up a little bit now. I think it's 265.
Yeah.
It was funny though. And my guys know I'm picking and all that are Yankee fans like Rodney and those guys. But why do you have a stadium like they have and load up on right-handed power? That made no sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, there are a couple of those guys that spread around like Stanton, and most time it don't matter what ballpark you're in, Stanton can hit it 500 feet. So,
Yeah.
you know, when he gets a hold of it. But, you know, the thing for
Yeah, you'd think if it was shorter in left field,
Yeah.
then Judge and Stanton would really have some home runs. But they did add Rizzo and Gallo
right. Yeah.
during the season.
Well,
So
Gallo wore
two
it
big
out, didn't he?
lefties.
What do you want up hitting? Under 200 for the season? I mean,
Yeah, but he did hit a home run about every other game, it seemed
Yeah,
like, once he got to
but you
New
know
York.
what? At some point, that catches up with you, and it did catch up with them. I mean, you've got to have more percentage guys.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Is it kind of like a team living by the three-point shot that eventually you will have nights where you don't hit many? And
Mm-hmm. Good analogy.
it is a good way to put it. And you know, I mean, I don't know any other thing it would compare to, in you know, other than that, in as far as sports. But you know, I mean, you've got, even if they had, you know, a 300 hitter and a power hitter, 300 hitter and a power hitter, every other one in that lineup, but they are just stacked with power hitters.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the highest batting average is in the lineup out of those guys. Probably Judge, and man, he struggled.
yeah,
early,
I
early
don't
in the
know. And they
season.
strike out so much.
They
That's
do.
another
They do, not even putting the ball in play.
negative.
Yeah. Did they
Which I
lead
thought,
the league in strikeouts?
I think DJ LeMahieu is their best
Contact
hitter.
guy?
But I don't know how he did this year. I know his
And he
first
didn't
year,
play in that game,
first year with
right?
the Yankees, he was really good.
He didn't play in that game. I think he was out injured, right?
He might
Missed-
have been.
missed the game.
I don't know.
Yep, they need you know, and some of these guys, I don't know if will they re-sign. I mean, is Rizzo and Gallo both
I'm not sure.
free? I'm pretty sure Rizzo's a free agent.
I would try my hardest to re-sign Rizzo.
Yeah.
Gallo, I don't know about.
Yeah. I wouldn't. I'll tell you what. I wouldn't. I'd have a hard time throwing the big money out there at Gallo after batting under 200. After coming with the Yankees and hit under.
Yeah, I don't
200.
think they will. I think they probably have other options.
Yep, I think like I said, at some point they got to go for. I mean, you know, who are some of the teams that you think of that you know, just produce with big time average, you know, batting. I won't say average hitters, but I'm talking about batting average.
Yeah.
not just average hitters, but. you
Well,
know,
I don't know.
You know, I mean, I know it's more about the power this day and time for everybody, but you know,
I think even Tampa hit a ton of home runs.
yeah,
this
they
year.
did. And you just said the Giants led the league, but
Yeah.
I would be willing to think that if you went through the Giants lineup, man for man, the batting averages was probably higher than the Yankees. You know,
Yeah.
and some of the.
It seems
others.
like when I watched that Dodgers Cardinals game the other night, the Cardinals had a lot of guys with good.
yeah, well, you'd
batting
expect
averages.
that. You know, the Cardinals have been built throughout history on
Yeah,
speed.
Aaron Judge hit 288
running.
this year, so that's pretty good.
288 is not bad for a power.
Yeah.
hitter.
With 39 home runs.
It's
Pretty good numbers. For
It's
power.
under 260. I put the line around 260 for a power hitter. You know, so if he hits 288, he had a pretty good year, and he got off to a horrible start, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he did.
So he overcame some of that. We haven't even talked about these, but the let's see here. The Braves fell to the Brewers 2-1. You guys know any details? I know the Braves were down 2-0, pretty early, right? And
Seventh innings when Milwaukee got their 2 runs.
okay,
Two
so
run
not
homer.
early, not early. Okay.
No, it looked like
No scoring at all till the 7th.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Braves hit a home run in the 8th to cut it to 2-1, and then
Yeah. Well, speaking of
had a couple guys on in the 9th, but
speaking of
couldn't get
home
'em in.
runs and no average, no base runners. I mean, only 9 hits in the game. But now some of that you can credit to aces on the hill. You know, I mean, these guys are going out there with their bread and butter guys. You know, Morton took the loss, 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 9 strikeouts last night.
yeah, Corbin Burns was Milwaukee's starter, which he didn't go long enough to get the win. He went 6 innings, but
Yep.
sure they'll take that.
Yep.
And then
Giants.
Josh Hader,
Excuse
who's
me.
probably the best closer in baseball. He came in and got the Braves out in the 9th. He did give up a couple base runners, but Hader's really good, and a left-handed closer. There's not a lot of those out there.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's the first thing came to my mind is he kin to Bill Hader. And then the only series that now has a 2-0 lead in Major League Baseball, the Houston Astros. They teased the White Sox a little bit yesterday. The White Sox got back in that game. It was 4-4, and then all of a sudden the Astros just exploded and win again. White Sox with 3 runs in the top of the 5th inning to tie that game at 4-4.
No, they actually went ahead.
They went ahead 4-2, and the Astros tied it immediately in the bottom half, and then a 5-run inning. And see, that's the thing that I think the Astros are more capable of than anybody other than maybe Tampa, of having those big innings. You know, I mean, in this day and time of you know.
Yeah, they might have the best batting average. I don't know. They have a lot of good hitters.
Yeah. You look at these averages on here. I guess it just only what's that giving you? Is that the season batting average for these guys?
Yeah, it's probably just for the postseason.
Well, I thought so.
It looks like Altuve hit 276 this year. What's it?
250.
Okay, yeah, that's just the postseason.
Okay, so how do you go down there to? Oh, never mind. It's right. You're right, because I was looking at slugging percentage. I wasn't even looking at the.
Correa 279, Alvarez 277, Gurriel 318, Kyle Tucker 293, Brantley 313. They had to be near the top. Bregman 270.
Good news for Red Sox fans. Lenny just sent me this. Rizzo is a free agent, but Gallo has 1 year left on his contract. So if I got to pick one that I would want to stay there, you know, from
definitely.
my side of the fence, I would say, hey, yeah, you keep Gallo. You never know. Wouldn't it be something now if Boston would sneak in there and take Rizzo now to play first base? You know.
Well, hadn't there been talk about him going back to Chicago? I've heard stuff of him and Chris Bryant possibly going back to Chicago.
You rarely see that, though.
Yeah, no, I know.
You rarely see that because, you know, I remember John Lester. That's the one that stands out to me that, you know, Boston let him go as a free agent. Yeah, I mean, traded him with intentions of signing him back, and he didn't. He you know, did he stay where he went on the trade, or did he go to I can't remember how it worked out now, but.
Did they trade him to the Cubs?
Well, that would answer that question.
And then I think he did stay there for a while.
But yeah, that's the one that stands out to me is that kind of that Boston got stung a little bit there by, you know, you have to have a better feeling. Maybe they didn't have intentions of signing him back, and the media just thought that he was. Wake Mike Powell up over there. He's sleeping.
I'm awake. Let's get on to football. No, I'm just kidding.
Why? What is it so? What is so big in football that you want to talk about? You're a Giants fan.
Yeah,
they won last night 4-0, and you hadn't even commented on it.
Yeah, well,
I'm waiting on you just to
Buster Povey.
I'm waiting on you
Buster
to jab
Posey.
Brett. Give him some jabs over there. You got a 1-0 lead on the world champion Dodgers.
McCovey Cove was busy last night. Fished a couple balls out of McCovey Cove. Yeah.
Yeah, I keep looking on here. You know, here's how you take a jab. You know, I can't find what time the Yankees play today. That's why you take a jab. Yeah. Where are they? I can't find them on my schedule.
Yeah, that's a good jab. Well, I'm still worried about the Dodgers. I know we got a 1-0 lead, but you know, they could reverse if they still won tonight. Then they go back to Chavez Ravine. I'm worried.
I'll put it this way. Yeah, that kind of series, you're not going to be.
No.
You're not going to be at ease till it's over.
No, that's what I'm saying.
But you'd be rather sitting here this morning up 1-0 than down 1-0 especially after playing at game one at home.
We in a 5-game set, we talked about the percentages. If you win game one, you have a good chance to win
a lot better. Yeah, I did see the numbers on that at one time in a 5-game series, and I want to say it's over 60.
I wish they'd go ahead and make these 7 games.
Yeah,
I'm surprised they're not. Don't you know? But I'm going to tell you something, though. My first priority would be to get rid of the 1-game play.
I think so.
Before I went to – if you only get one or the other, I'm saying let's go to 2 out of 3 in that wild card game before I am saying let's, make these. Do you like the setup though, because if I'm not mistaken, years ago when they played the 5-game playoffs, it was if you had home field advantage. I can't remember if you played at home first or not, but it was 2 and 3. It wasn't 2-2-1 like it is today. There was a time when it was 2 and then 3, and you didn't travel as much. So
I think it needs to be 2-2-1.
Oh,
I think
it does.
That's the most fair.
it does. Yeah,
Without
way.
question.
Yep, I agree with that. All right, Mike. Here's your chance. If we move to football right now, what is it that what's the story? What's the biggest thing? NFL, college, high school.
It's a rivalry.
Well, I thought that's where you
OU,
might
Texas. And the Texas State Fair is being held this year.
go. You didn't expect any different, did you?
Well, it wasn't held last year, obviously.
Oh, really?
No,
Okay.
No, of course not.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised by that.
Yeah, Big Tex is towering over the whole
Big
area.
Tex.
Big Tex. Yeah.
I thought you were ready to jump into Penn State and Iowa. The
that
actual
too.
game of the day.
That is the game.
That
of
is
the
the
day.
game of the day.
And I'll tell you something about it too. I mean, both those have great home atmospheres, so it doesn't matter who's at home. Iowa is at home today. It's just going to be a very. Is that game day? Are they there today?
No, they're in Dallas, actually. 12 o'clock kickoff.
Decided to go to the second-hand game.
I don't think OU Texas is going to take a back seat too many times.
Okay.
Pick it this year, undefeated OU, Texas resurgence. What are they, 4-1 after that embarrassing season opening loss to Arkansas? Sarkisian seems to have them on the right track. Could be a tough one.
I just got a come on, man.
Come on, man.
Help me out. I think Butch is being a little impatient this morning. He says
He's ready for high school.
he wants me to mention this, but he did not mention it to the people that don't know. I need, the actual location. But he says, push my Sportsman's Barbecue today in downtown Maiden, 11-1, a plate.
Well, if you ride through downtown Maiden,
I know,
you'll probably find it.
I'm just messing with him. I know exactly where it is, but I'm. That's right. It's
The only stoplight.
Yeah, you guys are wrong. There's 2. There's 3 actually, but 2.
Yeah.
Aren't they back to back right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, one over the road.
That's 2.
Yeah.
That's right.
And it's actually between them.
Yeah.
Now you
you're
can
right.
throw a
If you look
football
between
from
them,
one to the
you can throw
other.
a football from one to the other. That's right. Sportsman Barbecue. I will do my best to get there and get at least one plate
11
today.
o'clock?
11-1.
Sounds
11-1 today. And he's got 11-1 for a plate, and it says pound. And I don't know if he's talking about a pound of barbecue or Greg Pound will be serving. I don't know exactly which
Good
one.
one.
Which one?
I'd rather have
the
the pound of barbecue.
Absolutely, yeah, and it's no contest.
Well, I assume the usual sides will be available: baked beans, slaw, all that.
Assume.
Don't ever assume.
Our assume man. He also says, he says, how big is downtown? 4 lights actually. So that's right. That's right. One over at
And then one over
near
there
where his dad lived.
Okay.
At the on the little hill there at the old high
On the
school.
little hill,
That's right.
yeah.
4
Old high
lights.
school. That's right.
I hate to sit and try to count lights because you know what happens. Even they when you try to remember lights and you give somebody directions, you go 4 lights. Well, guess what? They added one last week. And
Yeah.
you figure out it.
Right.
Then they go to GPS has done wonders for that. Though.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that. He also says, a tip of my hat to Brett and his Dodgers. I hate one-game playoffs. And, well, you know what? I'll say this, though, for the Cardinals. Congratulations to the Cardinals for the run they made to even get to play.
17 wins in a row.
In that one-game playoff. And didn't they end with like 19 out of 20 or 20 out of 21 or something like that, which is incredible.
Yeah.
And
one game.
They got so hot that they clinched with around a week to go.
Yeah.
They clinched a spot with around a week to go. That's how hot they got. And Butch says, yes, Mike Powell, to both of those sides that you are correct.
Yeah. I was hoping so.
You're not going to be there.
No. Well, I'll be eating breakfast, and I couldn't hardly go for a barbecue an hour later.
And Butch says both pounds are correct in that question.
Although it's a great cause, I'm sure.
Yep. Okay, here we go. Lenny's got it. I knew Lenny would know the John Lester details. John Lester was traded to Oakland at trade
I
deadline.
forgot about that.
For Yannis Cespedes, and sign as a free agent by the Cubs during the offseason. So, see, I totally forgot about that. But now that he said
Yeah,
that,
I forgot he went to Oakland.
Yeah, and I like Cespedes coming to Fenway and hitting. I thought that was going to be great. And that worked out for about 6 months, it seemed like. And then, has the man ever – where's he at now?
Yeah, he just totally disappeared, didn't he?
He did. Let's take a time out. 8:33 the time this morning here, and we got lots of college, NFL, and pro football. Mike Powell's going to be a happy man. Back in a moment.
Hey.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit MooneyInsurance.com. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stiefel Nicholas can assist you. Call Ford Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stiefel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
Good hot coffee. Donuts from Dunkin' Donuts. What else could a man want, right?
We need to get them as a sponsor.
Remind me to tell you
Could
about
we do that?
question during the break.
What if
What else
we
could a man want? You'll love the answer I got for you.
If we
What's this we? You're not going to do anything.
If we hawk their
You're not going to
product-
do it. You're not going to do anything.
Yeah, well,
Have you ever set foot in Dunkin' Donuts?
I actually could do it on my way
That
from
wasn't my
Lincoln.
question.
On my way
Have
from
you ever
Cherryville.
set foot in Dunkin' Donuts?
No, I can't say I have.
Have you ever gone through the drive-thru at
I
Dunkin'?
can't say I have. I could.
Number
though.
one, he's not going to spend that $3,
Yeah, well,
especially 2 or 3 on a cup of coffee. Have you ever spent $3 on a cup of coffee?
yeah, sure. Barnes and Noble.
Have you ever
caramel macchiatos?
Have you ever spent
Mocha.
$5 on a cup of coffee?
I don't know about 5. I have spent $4.50, but 5.
Oh, I'm
No.
about to spill my coffee on me.
$5
Laugh
on
at
a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
No,
I don't do coffee, but they do have really good toasted bagels with strawberry cream cheese.
Yeah,
they do.
I like everything at Dunkin'. I hadn't found anything yet that I really don't
Well,
like.
why
but-
don't I just
But you,
to prove to it next
you
week?
can't do it. You
I'll
can't.
stop and get the donuts in Lincoln at the Dunkin' Donuts.
I thought you were going to talk to him about sponsorship. I
Yeah.
thought that was your
Oh,
plan.
I can do that too. We hawk their product, and they give us some money or free donuts or something.
I'll take the donuts.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to give
good
us any
stuff.
money.
Did they give us a dozen donuts? Probably give us a dozen. Sure.
A year.
Year supply
Yeah.
would be good.
Not a year's supply. A dozen a year. That you
Yeah,
get
a dozen.
one
That's
for each
better
month.
than what they're giving us now. So
One for each month. Looking at some scores from Thursday night. Coastal Carolina defeated Arkansas State 52-20. Coastal Carolina continues their rolling. I tell you, they've just been a really solid program the last 2-3 years. Ranked number 15 in the country, taking care of business, winning on the road.
next Wednesday, is it next Wednesday? Wednesday
When
after.
they play. App.
Now that is a Wednesday night game. I just wanted
It's
to
the one
verify.
week after next.
It is a Wednesday, yeah.
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 I wouldn't.
It's
mind
Coastal's
going.
next
about that?
game.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the 20th.
Yeah. Let's see then. The 20th. Today is the what?
Say
9th?
the 10th,
11th?
9th.
9th, yeah.
Yeah.
9th. Well, then
Wednesday
App
night.
probably plays today and then won't play again till then too, because you get when you have those Wednesday games. I mean, it really throws you for a loop for your schedule because
App plays.
you're not going to play the Saturday before or after when you
No.
have a Wednesday game.
App doesn't play today.
Okay, they already started taking off.
App
getting
plays
ready for it.
Tuesday.
Okay, they play. Yeah, I do remember seeing
At
they had a couple
Louisiana.
Tuesday games.
You mean
So
they got
that's a tough,
Louisiana? Then the next week they got Coastal.
Yeah, well, they get an extra day off.
Tuesday at Louisiana, and then the following Wednesday,
Well,
Coastal
those are
Carolina.
the top two
That's
teams in the
two
Sun
big
Belt.
ones.
Also on Thursday, Houston defeated Tulane 40-22, and
The same team that Oklahoma struggled to beat by 5.
being Tulane, yeah.
Yeah.
Not even Houston being Tulane.
Yeah.
Before we get into the college schedule, I'll read a text I just now got, and you guys can see if you can guess who it's from. You were talking about batting averages a little while ago when I looked it up. 244 was the MLB average for this year, and it has steadily declined over the last several seasons, and only a handful of seasons at 270 or better over the last 100 years. Looks like 1 for 4 gets you in the show, especially if the one's a home run or an extra base hit. It definitely gets you in the show. If you go 1 for 4 every game and hit 250, then you're above average by 6 points. If the batting average is 244, I know the home run's exciting and everything. Give me the 270 though. I'll take the 270 over the 244, and I still don't think it's probably, I don't know. I'd like to go back and look and see. That's from Rodney Willis.
Well,
by the
you
way.
used to have guys hit 325, and it wasn't that big of a deal.
And still hit 25 or 30 home runs.
What a
Right.
game. Like being successful 3 out of 10 times is considered the margin of having a good year at the plate.
I don't think Rod Carew or Tony Gwynn or those guys have to worry too much about.
What did Barry Bonds hit for his career? He had to be around 300.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You
He
know,
hit for an average.
The biggest thing about Bonds was How many times did he swing and miss in his career? You could just about count them. I mean, he never hardly ever struck out for a power hitter.
Yeah.
And
well, in the days of his roid rage, if you want to call it that, he walked.
Yeah.
How many times? I mean.
Oh yeah, they walked him intentionally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but I mean, I know, and that was the steroid era, and you can say what you want, like it, dislike it, whatever, but it did not help hand-eye coordination and making contact. You know what I mean with that baseball. It might have helped his power numbers, but it didn't affect.
No, he was always a great hitter.
Yeah. He was always a great hitter. Yes.
Yep, I agree. Last night in college football, Mike stayed at home to watch Cincinnati beat Temple 52-3. How about those Reds? Oh, that's not the Reds, is it? Those Bearcats going to Notre Dame last week.
I can tell
Brett.
you firsthand, Cincinnati is really
the
good.
real deal. Yeah.
Are they good. Going to break the glass ceiling? And
here he goes using glass again.
Yeah, it's been a theme of mine ever since I saw Joe Glass's Hickory team play East Lincoln. It's been on my mind.
The glass ceiling he has come up with.
Well, it could be a group of 5.
Well, I'll put it this way: I saw a poll question last night on Twitter, and it said, if BYU and Cincinnati both go undefeated, who's going to get into the college playoff? BYU, Cincinnati, or neither?
Well, Cincinnati's got the win over Notre Dame.
That's a signature win right now, and
I would probably still vote neither if I had to guess. But
well, I think it depends on what happens with everybody else.
How about have a wild card game? Let them play each other. Winner gets
Watch
in.
them play 2 out of 3.
They won't be away. Yeah. Well, guys, Cincinnati's only real glitch left is SMU in their conference.
Who?
Yeah. That's it.
I don't think there is one then. Of course, you never know. I mean,
if
you're not prepared
anybody
to play,
if you're not prepared,
right.
you could get beat on any Saturday.
Yep.
But
come in that. But you know what? You'd thought of Temple. I mean, if Cincinnati was going to be flat, it would have been last night playing on a Friday after playing Notre Dame away and winning on Saturday. Then a Friday night game against Temple. They weren't flat.
No, they weren't.
They weren't flat. I mean, I didn't see the beginning of the game, but it couldn't have took them too long to get cranked up if they scored 52 points last night.
Dude, they have the best quarterback in college football, and this Ritter kid. I mean, he just does it every week.
Yeah, well.
One of the best.
And the coach, is that Fickle?
Luke Fickle.
Fickle.
Do you guys think, I mean, is he going to USC? To me, that's the looming question over this season.
I can't answer it. Can't answer it, but I will say this. How many coaches go to USC to ruin their careers?
Oh, no, it's like
it's
like crashing on the rocks.
I mean, these guys are on top of their game, and they've built a program, and then all of a sudden they jump for more money, more glitter, more gold. Great program, one of the best ever in the nation, and it sinks. I mean, it just like boom, and I don't understand it. I don't know why.
But I think if you're the right coach.
Yeah, but everybody thinks they are.
I know, but I mean, I think you have to take that chance.
I even heard one.
Notre Dame kind of went through that before Brian Kelly came along, he came from Cincinnati.
Oh, wow.
That's a great point, Brad. Yeah, they were just going through coaches.
And he hadn't been as successful as Pete Carroll was at Southern Cal, but he's been really
he has
good.
Had them
I've been
consistent.
Very satisfied
consistent.
They made a couple college football playoffs. They're winning 10 games. Yeah, I think he's
the consistency is definitely there.
Yeah, very consistent. I heard this this morning.
I worry about going to Southern Cal though, and I don't know. I mean, I would take it if you want to ask me, and I'm offered that, and I'm at Cincinnati. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I'm going because guess what? I am the man, and I'm going to get it turned around. I mean, that's what everybody thinks. And if you don't think that, you're in the wrong business, right?
You got to think
if you think I can't turn that program around, then
you got to think you're a program.
Then you're not a competitor.
How about this one? Things are starting to really grind down for Seattle.
Oh man, they are in a mess.
Wilson out 2 to 4 weeks.
I saw 6 weeks yesterday.
No, what I'm leading up to is Pete Carroll.
Back to USC.
Back to USC.
Never know.
Never know.
Never say
70
never.
years
right?
old. He doesn't want to rebuild again in the NFL, I don't think.
I think Urban Meyer's going to coach both the Jags and the Trojans.
The Jags and the Trojans at the same time.
Yeah, he's going to double.
And, I was going to say
Yeah.
maybe the Cincinnati job.
A lot of bars in Southern Cal.
If Cincinnati's coach leaves, he can get that job.
And Cincinnati has a lot of bars too. Because if you live there, you'd have to have
You'd
have to have a drink.
You would if you
every
lived
hour.
in Cincinnati. Well, how many you want to lay a bet if that Urban lasts the entire 17-game season at Jacksonville? A lot of people are starting to speculate.
Oh, Mike, he's all in.
All in, eh?
He's all in.
Okay.
Yeah, he's all in until Monday when they're 0-5.
I don't think he will last the
He
whole
can't take-
17 games.
He cannot take it.
No, you can't. No,
Can't
you
take
can't.
losing. He
After
can't take.
9 or 10, he'll claim that his stress level's too
Yep.
high,
Like
Backache.
and he'll be gone.
Just like he did at Florida when he started winding down.
Yeah.
Health issues.
He is a college coach, I think. Like Nick Saban, I think they're college coaches.
Well, remember,
if you're the, I'm gonna ask you this: if you're the Jags owner today, what do you want to happen?
flame out. Please.
Get it over with.
Yeah, get it over with.
Yeah, because he's not going to be there more than, even if he makes it through this year, he's not going to be there more than
Why'd
a
they
couple
hire him?
years.
Why'd they hire him?
can't
I
figure
don't
it out.
know.
I mean, if you didn't know that going in, you were just not paying attention.
Well, look how many bad decisions already made. Bringing in that strength coach from Iowa with the racial overtones, the whole Tim Tebow circus. I mean, they just, I don't know. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, I feel bad for Trevor Lawrence. I mean, Trevor Lawrence is in a terrible situation right now.
Scott says Urban Meyer will not coach again in college. Too many college girls want to dance with him.
Oh, yeah.
So there you go. Bringing it to the. What do you bring to the dance, right?
Well, at least he didn't do what
Give the
Mike
whole
Wise
whole
did
new-
before he ever got to Alabama.
Which was
What was it? Saw him in a strip club, slap dance, something. Remember Mike Wise, Washington, was at Washington State. Then he got the Alabama job, but never actually coached for the Tide. I guess you don't remember.
well, I do vaguely.
I don't
mean, I don't
remember the
remember all the
name.
Yeah, me either. That's the part. Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
you don't.
Yeah. Well, it may be, but then I do remember Bobby Petrino. I remember that name, and I'll never forget
Who could
that name,
forget
so-
Petrino? That's immortal. You know.
All right, let's keep rolling here.
Well, the weird
because,
one that
we
stands
got
out
a
to
lot.
me is, wasn't it a guy that Georgia Tech hired that?
You're thinking George O'Leary that was.
He falsified his
Yeah, he
resume.
lied about his on his
No,
resume.
he's going to go.
That was to go to Notre Dame.
He was going to Notre
Dame.
Dame. That's
Yeah,
right.
and they found out about
Yeah,
it.
from Georgia
And he
Tech.
didn't even have a degree,
Yeah.
a 4-year degree.
And he actually had never coached and won a game. He was just, he was just standing on the sideline, letting everybody else do
no
it.
wins
That's
whatsoever.
that's pretty good. You know, wonder how often he gets recognized and questioned when he goes out in public about doing it. I mean, there's some crazy things that can.
And yeah, he
that
wasn't
can
a
go
bad.
on.
He had a pretty good record at Georgia Tech. I
Yeah.
mean, you know,
Oh, he did. Yeah,
that's why he got the Notre Dame
really,
job.
that's
for
exactly right.
briefly.
That's exactly a couple days.
Yeah.
Here we go. Last night I mentioned Temple. I mean Cincinnati rolling over Temple. Also last night, Arizona State
Woo.
beat Stanford last night, 28-10.
I watched some of that off and on, and Arizona State, they look pretty good.
Now, they
they're
got a
really,
good
they're really
quarterback, right?
physical.
McGee.
Do you know Trip Miller?
Yeah,
Do you?
I know who he is.
Carrie's. He was there.
At Arizona State.
How about that? He was at that. He was the
Carrie's
team-
son was there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard Carrie said that last night that he was out there and gonna attend the Stanford game.
And here we
last
got
night.
Stanford coming off the big win over Oregon, and they fall flat against the Sun Devils.
Yeah, that conference is a mess, though.
It
isn't
is.
It? That
It
conference.
is.
I mean, it's just really a mess.
They're not going to the.
That's another reason to
No,
take
no.
that USC.
I know,
job. That conference
I know.
is
I mean,
not that good.
no, and-
It's pretty much Oregon and everybody else.
And Oregon just lost. I mean, who knocked them off last week or the week?
Stanford?
before?
Stanford beat them.
There you go. I mean, it's a mess. Is what it is. And
But now, does Oregon still have a chance if they run the table and win the Pac?
Sure.
12.
Yeah, because they have that win
They got
against
the
Ohio
best win in the
State.
country so far. Still
Yeah,
going into
right.
the horseshoe and knocking off the Buckeyes.
Yeah. Charlotte played Florida International last night. Charlotte playing pretty good football.
I know.
I got to give them some credit here.
Yeah.
Last night, Which team does this one belong to? Bortenschlager.
That's Florida International.
Okay, that's what I figured. That's the quarterback. But it sounds like a beer you order in Germany.
It does. Yeah, at October.
Well, that's why they're Florida International.
I guess so.
That's Oktoberfest.
Bortenschlager, 466 yards.
It does have lager on the end of it.
Yeah, lager.
Maybe I should have said Bortenschlager.
I call it the lager.
Yeah, but Charlotte wins the game. In spite of the
Is Cameron Dollar hurt? Because I hadn't seen his name.
And he was playing earlier.
In a while.
Yeah, he may be. He was playing earlier in the season.
And he didn't have a catch last night.
Did not have a catch. Here you go, Mike. We're going to start rolling here. High noon.
Baby.
How about 11 a.m. in Dallas, Texas today? It is the Red River rivalry.
You got it.
As Oklahoma and Texas. Now I get that wrong. I can say that Red River rivalry, but not Texas.
Number 6 and number 21.
Texas is a good way to put it, right? Oklahoma and Texas, 6-21. Do you think Oklahoma is really 15 spots better in the rankings than Texas?
Haven't shown it so far. Been very
So
disappointed.
who's ranked, whose is not correct? Texas ranking or Oklahoma's ranking? If you had to move them,
the way Oklahoma's played, I'd put them at the bottom of the top 10.
I think Texas is probably about right. They shouldn't move up any yet, but
I mean they had to really struggle to beat TCU last week. Let's don't forget that. What was it?
They did.
32-27. Of course, Oklahoma looked like they had a fairly easy game at K-State, but it ended up being 35-31, a little bit of anxiousness there near the end. Although I will say, I watched the game on tape again for the third time.
Oh, he's bored.
Yeah. Well, I got a lot of time on my hands, you know that. But anyway, Spencer Rattler's been so criticized. He actually had a pretty good game. He got out of the pocket. He's best when he's throwing on the run. That's when he's most accurate. He had a pretty good completion ratio. I get the feeling offensively they're close to having a breakout game, but they just can't get the chunk plays this year. Yeah. They can't get those big plays down the field.
Which is very, very odd.
Very, very unusual for them.
By them.
They live by that. And the expectations of an Oklahoma quarterback with back-to-back Heisman winners and Mayfield and Murray is it's tough to live up to. But Texas has a running back that worries me. I think Bijan Robinson, he's really good. It's going to be your typical Texas OU game. Most of them are very close. Last year went into double OT.
Texas hadn't had a running back bother me since Ricky Williams.
Okay. He was pretty good.
Cedric Benson, was he before or after?
Cedric Benson was pretty good.
Yeah, he was good.
He was after really Ricky, I think. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you, if you're in Texas and you can't have a stud running back, you got a problem, right?
Yeah, you got a problem.
I think you have quite a few to draw from.
But I guess it'll be the usual 90,000 at the Cotton Bowl, half of them in red, half of them in burnt orange. Like
I love it.
Do.
I love it.
You got a comment, Mike.
What's
Michael
that?
Jones says,
What'd Michael say?
watched on tape, how old of recording equipment do you have?
Well, Michael, I meant that figuratively. I watched it on DVR. You know what I mean. Come on. Yeah.
On tape.
Did you drive halfway and meet Sarkeesian to get that copy?
Although, Michael, I will say I still do own a VCR.
Yeah.
Or that would have been Sarkeesian. That would have been Lincoln Riley.
Beta.
Hey,
Beta.
He came in this morning. He had a 16-millimeter reel with him, and most of you won't even know what that is.
16-millimeter, yeah. Reel to reel.
Yeah, reel to reel video.
Yeah.
I like it. That's great.
That's pretty good. Thank you, Michael.
Pick on Mike about being old. Yeah, and I don't know. Are you older?
Well, no, my sister said on my birthday I make 70 look like 50. So there you go.
Like 50 what?
50, as in 50 years.
Like 50 old men. You make 70 look like 50 old men. Is that what it is?
Okay.
I will say this: Mike definitely could pass for much younger than
I think it was hyperbole for her to say 50, but a little younger. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, but Oklahoma, Texas. I'll tune in for a while.
Oh, heck yeah!
I'm going to move through this kind of quickly here because we definitely want to spend a good bit of time on high school football. Maybe even look at the NFL as well.
Which we didn't do last
No,
week.
we didn't.
We never got to
No, we
the
didn't.
NFL.
Ohio State hosting Maryland today. No contest. I probably won't even flip it over there at all.
No.
Butch told me last week was going to be tied against Rutgers, and I don't know what he was thinking, but I don't. They beat the Scarlet O'Haras. You like that, Mike? They beat the Scarlet O'Haras to death last week.
I like that.
The Buckeyes did. Rutgers today at home against Michigan State. Has Michigan State been the surprise team in college
One of
football?
them. Yeah,
so
undefeated. Mel Tucker, the coach, having them got a bunch of transfers, put them together.
I mean, last year they had a mediocre season, right? Maybe
the fella,
5-5, 4
yeah, D'Antonio
6,
quit, retired, resigned, whatever. Yeah, just a mess last year.
And all of a sudden now they come into games now, I think, with a whole new mentality, and they're expecting
Well,
to
they're
win.
rated number 11.
Yeah, that's a climb from nowhere,
Undefeated.
right? Pretty good
Could
climb.
they? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to rule them out because they have a history, I think, at Michigan State of being pretty good when they're the underdog. You know what I mean? So
Very true.
if they make it and have an opportunity to get in, I wouldn't want to be Michigan and playing them right now. You know what I mean? Because Michigan has really turned it around too and looks to be one of the more dominant teams.
But I'm sure you're going to talk about it. Michigan's got they got to go on the road today.
At
Nebraska.
Yeah,
Which
that
is
won't
playing
be easy.
better.
They are playing much better. I don't think that'll be easy either, Mike. Yeah. I hope that one's at a time when I don't have to flip the channels much and can watch it, because that should be good entertainment when those two hook up.
Now,
today.
wouldn't that be a signature win for Scott Frost? He's been trying to bring them back to respectability.
Well, he needs a top 10 win would be awesome, but just a top 20 win would be something of a plus for Nebraska. And there was a really good team. They lost last week, or the game I'm thinking about, but it was real tight, but they just couldn't get over the edge and get the win.
Nebraska?
Yeah.
Well, they lost to Oklahoma and Michigan State back-to-back, only by 7 and 3.
And that's not bad. I
That's
mean,
not
you
bad at
want to
all.
win those games, obviously, if you're Nebraska. But
And then they beat Northwestern 56-7 last week.
That's a whole lot more competitive team than we've seen out of Nebraska in probably
So they've had a
5
run
years.
of playing well in 3 games in a row.
Yeah, they may give
Yeah,
Michigan
and they
a
won the
fit today.
2 before that. Their worst loss was to Illinois the first game of the year.
Yeah, that was bad.
Which was
the
only by
first-
8, but you shouldn't lose to Illinois.
That was that first game, right, before kickoff game.
Before kickoff.
Yeah,
That
the
was
week
the
before
kickoff.
college football started.
Yeah.
Michigan State Rutgers. My boy Sam Pittman. Now he got his handed to him last week. He learned last week what SEC football is about. You know, I hate that for him, but they got blistered. Let's just face it. I mean, they ran into a buzzsaw. But today, I tell you what, and so did Ole Miss. I mean, Ole Miss beaten soundly by Alabama. So I just don't know which way. I mean, Georgia is a very, very, very good team, and everybody found that out last week.
If there were any doubts, Georgia removed them.
But you know what? The hardest game for me to pick this week is Arkansas and Ole Miss, because Ole Miss is at home. I think Arkansas is a little better than Ole Miss. That's just my personal opinion.
I do too.
But being on the road,
I think I picked Arkansas, but I can't even remember.
I think
for
I
sure.
picked Ole Miss, but I don't remember
I
either.
think I did too.
I'd have to go back and look because I'm not 100% sure either. Vanderbilt at Florida. Got a feel for Vanderbilt. They have just hopefully they had tickets to the Stones last night. Was that last night?
Yeah, Nashville.
So hopefully they had tickets and
That'll save their weekend.
got to enjoy something over the weekend. South Carolina, Tennessee. What did Tennessee do last week? Did they not come out?
They scored a lot of points?
Yeah, I mean like 60 over Missouri, and I picked Missouri to win the game, and Tennessee comes
drank
out there.
the water, didn't
Oh my
you?
gosh, they're up 20-something to nothing.
Yeah.
In the 28-0 maybe in the first quarter. I mean, I thought the first score I saw that game, I'm like, that can't be right. So I started
they scored
checking around.
62.
And, it was right. I mean, Tennessee.
Breakout game for
It
Josh
could
Heupel.
be. It could be. I mean, maybe they are. When I look at him, man, I love the way I love his
They
character.
scored 45 in the first half.
45 in the first half in a SEC conference game.
That's just,
On the road, right? Wasn't it at Missouri?
yeah.
I mean, that's
And they only completed 15 passes the whole game.
They must have been.
Yeah, for 800 yards.
They must have been chunkers.
What was it? I think it was their running game.
Okay.
Well, there again, and Tennessee,
458 rushing yards.
Whoa.
The right person at Tennessee
683
can
total.
still win a national title. I'm telling you. It may take 3 to 5 years, but the right person there, because for some reason Tennessee is a national brand.
They are.
They used to get a lot of talent from California, and the state surrounding states. Man, it's
So a sleeping giant.
it is. It really is. I mean, I think it is. West Virginia at Baylor today. Northern Illinois at Toledo. Georgia Tech at Duke. I told you Duke going to get scorched last week by Carolina. They never play well against Carolina, and it.
You know who Tennessee
got 'em
needs?
again.
Arch Manning.
Well,
Yep.
you know what? I mean, there's only 2 schools. They can recruit all they want. There's only 2 places he's going to go.
Ole Miss or
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Don't you think? I mean, is there any other
Probably.
options for him?
I could see Alabama
Yeah.
still in him.
If Saban's still there. And he probably will.
What
be.
And what is he, a
grades Arch in?
sophomore in high
Sophomore.
school? Sophomore, junior?
One or the other. He's not a senior. But
We'd love to have him down at OU.
I think he'll be in the
Heisman winner.
SEC.
Oh, yeah.
he would. Yeah, I think. I would. If I had to guess, I would put 99 to 1 that he's in the SEC. I don't even know. I don't know. I just don't know where else.
Well, Lane Kiffin with the offensive mind, that seems to fit.
Yeah.
That's where Eli played.
I tell you what, if Ole Miss ever gets a defense,
No, I thought they had one this year.
they'll be in the national title
and
picture
then they get
too.
shredded by Alabama.
If they didn't have but one university there, and you could have Mississippi State's D
yeah,
and Ole Miss's offense,
you might have a team.
yeah, that would be that would be incredible. Especially if they just got their kids to stay in state and play there.
Speaking of them, it's Ole Miss at Tennessee next week.
How about that? How about that? Yeah, that would be.
The Manning Bowl.
You think Arch will be at that one? I'd say he'll be there, taking that one in. Let's see where they get to. Number 2, Georgia at Auburn. Tough game for Georgia or not?
Well,
It could be. Auburn's pretty good.
Yeah,
Didn't they win at LSU last week?
They did. They did. And won late. They scored late.
Their only
late in
loss
the
is
game
at
to get
Penn
that
State.
win. Yeah, and they played pretty good in that game.
Yeah.
Auburn's always one of those teams that even when they're not top 10 or top 5, they're capable of knocking you off, you know. I mean, all those teams are
Well, they've
so
always
similar.
got some NFL players on their roster.
They do, always. But that's a good one. That's a CBS game today at 3:30, Georgia and Auburn. And Georgia has played such a difficult schedule. I mean,
toughest in the
you
nation.
think it'd catch up with you at some point, but they just keep clicking right along.
If they win on the road, on the plains, and win decisively, I think we got to say Georgia, certainly a playoff-bound team.
Mighty good.
Of course, they still got to play Florida. And
I think they're at least the second best team in the country.
Are they the one
I
team
think
that can
Alabama's
afford a
probably
loss
better than them,
and work their way
Well,
back?
that
Yeah,
lo-
because they
as
can
long
still
as that
win the
loss-
SEC
yeah.
championship.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to have to play Alabama in
Well,
that SEC
who
championship.
is in their division? Is Kentucky in their division?
Yeah, Kentucky.
Look out for Big Blue.
Yeah,
Big
that's
Blue's
right.
5-0.
They play them next week,
Do they really? Golly!
and
they
then,
still
and
gotta-
then Florida.
And Florida in
Oh,
the
my
swamp.
Lord.
And Florida in the swamp.
This is
Well, it'll
getting-
be in Jacksonville.
This is getting
Jacksonville.
close
Kentucky's at home.
to LSU. Remember LSU beat how many top 10 teams the
6
year?
or
Oh
8.
yeah,
Yeah, the year 7. They beat 7 top 10 teams.
and most of them they blew out.
The year they won a
Yeah,
national title. Georgia's going to make a run at that.
Yeah.
trying to be in a game against.
If they
that
win
many
this
top
national
10s.
title, their first since 1980, it'll be very deserved.
That's still hard for me to believe. As good as they are.
In 41 years.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's been that long since they won the
Herschel Walker.
national title. Yeah, right there in the mix. But unfortunately for Georgia, there's a school in the neighboring state that's not too shabby, right?
Well, they should have won it.
Alabama's still pretty good.
It was the Tua miracle coming off the bench. Remember?
Yeah, yep. Okay, finish this. Kirby Smart is the best coach at Georgia since.
Mark Ritz.
I thought you'd go a lot farther back than that. You don't think he's already accomplished more than Mark Richt?
Yeah, but I think Mark Richt was pretty good.
I do too.
He averaged 9
do
wins
too.
a year. I mean, it's not great at Georgia, I know, but okay. Who do you go back to then in Georgia?
I was going to go back to Dooley.
Vince Dooley. Okay.
I mean, but
Okay.
you know, I wanted you guys to answer, but I thought you'd go
Okay.
a little further back than the most recent one.
Okay, Vince Dooley. Then, yeah.
Oh,
Well, he's definitely the best since Mark Richt. I mean,
he
there's-
definitely is. There's no doubt about that. He's worse too.
Who was before Rick? I can't.
Lenny says Vince Dooley.
Yeah,
Who was before Rick?
I can't think.
That I'll tell you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tell us, Lenny, Rodney. Who was prior to Mark Richt? Because Mark Richt was there quite a while, and I love him.
He was
I
there
really
8 or
do
9
like
years.
him. I love him.
He was there 8 or 9
But he
years.
just never could get over that.
No.
I think already Smart has been more consistent.
Yeah.
And they've grown into a power. And right now you expect to see Georgia in the top 5 every year when the polls come
He
out.
certainly recruited
every year.
He's
right?
recruited better than
Jim
Rick.
Donnan,
Jim Donnan.
Yeah, Jim.
There you go.
59 and 40.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rodney said.
No,
Jim
that's not.
Donnan.
That's not his record.
He had a
Well,
winning record.
I hope
I'm
not.
sure, but
59 and 40.
40 and 19 was his record.
Okay,
that's not
140.
bad. But not
59
at
was the
Georgia.
number
It's
of
not
games
very
played.
Yeah,
good.
that's right. That's
Yeah, that would work for most programs in the country.
Mark Richt won 74% of his games.
Wow.
Kirby Smart has won 77% so far.
So a little bit better than
yeah.
Rick.
And reached the playoffs. How many times? How many times Georgia reached the playoffs
Just the
under?
one.
Just once.
Is it? Is it just
They
one?
beat Oklahoma in overtime, and then they
That's a
lost
given.
the squeaker to. I know. We're forever. In the
Oh, forever.
playoffs.
Oh, Lord. West Virginia at Baylor, Georgia Tech, Duke, Virginia, Louisville, Wake Forest, number 19 in the country, going to
Undefeated.
Syracuse. Better look out, though. Honestly, better look out.
Yeah.
Going to Syracuse because Syracuse has been known for knocking off ranked teams in the Carrier Dome. Boise State at BYU. We mentioned Georgia at Auburn. I will definitely be watching some Georgia and Auburn today at 3:30. Florida State and North Carolina. You know, remember Florida State knocked Carolina off last year, right?
Yeah.
Not going to happen today.
For some reason or no, this is the first time Florida State's played in Chapel Hill since 2008. I think I heard that on the way out.
Wisconsin at Illinois. You talking about Illinois really struggling, but Wisconsin. I mean, what's happened there?
Man.
What's their record right now?
1-3.
1-3.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when's the last time Wisconsin was 1-3?
Well,
after
you know,
4
the
games?
coach, what's his name, Paul? Can't think, but he went with the quarterback, Gabe something, over the guy you got now at Notre Dame.
Paul
right?
Christ is what I call him. but
Paul
it's
Christ. Chris, yeah.
Yeah, it's Is it Graham Wirtz,
Yeah.
the quarterback?
I mean, he just hasn't worked out. He struggled.
You know, the signs when they played Notre Dame said, you know, y'all have the Catholics, we have Christ.
We have Christ.
Well, they've lost to Penn State, Notre Dame, and Michigan. I mean, that's pretty tough.
That's a tough
3 out of
schedule.
first 4
Yeah.
Very
games.
tough.
But you know what, though? I mean, we expect Wisconsin to win one of those 3, if not maybe 2 of those 3. I mean, you know, they've just been more consistent. But,
Right.
some of it I got to give to the schedule. Lenny says Jim Donnan was a quarterback at
North Carolina
State.
State.
You were close. North Carolina State. Jim Donnan out of quarterback you.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. That's why you didn't remember him. He was out of quarterback.
Was he ever
U.
the coach at North Carolina? I don't know why I'm thinking that.
I don't know. Not that I recall,
Okay.
but
He was an assistant at Carolina.
that's just my courtroom.
And then he
response.
went to Georgia. Okay.
Not that I recall.
Well, 20 years later.
Yeah.
He was an assistant for Carolina in the 70s. He was an offensive coordinator for Oklahoma for a few years.
Oh.
Yeah, come on, Mike.
Head coach at Marshall, head coach at Georgia.
Okay.
Wow, that's pretty good. Pretty good resume. All right, here we go. Big game of the day. Even bigger, you might say, than that Georgia game today at Auburn.
Oh, yeah.
On the national scene, yes, it is.
Yeah.
Penn State and
Yeah.
Iowa,
2
number 4 and
undefeateds.
number 3. And you know what? Without the reputation that some of the other teams have, this is a do-or-die game for both. You know, the winner of this could make the playoffs. The loser, I don't think, can. You know, I just don't think they can, because if they had been in the playoff mix the last 6-8 years like an Alabama or a Georgia, you know, some of these teams that Ohio State that you expect to be there, I think they get a little benefit of the doubt. These have to earn it. These two teams have to earn it. So, which way you see that one going?
I think Penn State is the better team.
More balanced.
But home field advantage.
That Iowa running game is.
Iowa's got a really good home field
stout.
advantage.
They do have that. So will it be blackout in Iowa?
I would take. I mean, I'd take Penn State. Just I think they're better.
Two really good
but
coaches.
I don't see.
I love both coaches.
I see it being within 7, either way.
Yeah, let's hope so. It's set up to be a classic. Hopefully, it will be a classic. Georgia Southern goes into Troy today. Georgia Southern's not having a good season, are they?
No,
Aren't they pretty much struggling? Yeah,
yeah,
struggling. East Carolina at Central Florida, Oregon State at Washington State. Some more ranked games here that will keep viewers interested. I'll tell you what, the night schedule tonight. This may be the best Saturday night so far.
Ever.
For college. Not ever.
This
but
year.
Yes, this season. Michigan at Nebraska. And I know Nebraska is not your household name like it was, but guess what? They're improving. Like Brett said, they've played really well the last couple of weeks. Didn't you say they lost to Michigan State and to who was that?
Oklahoma by 7.
Yeah, both of them one possession games. I honestly think they'll give Michigan a fit in this game tonight. Notre Dame at Virginia Tech. How will Notre Dame respond coming off of a loss last week? Going into Virginia Tech, hard place to play, hard place to win.
Yeah, I worry with Notre Dame that the one loss is going to – I worry that they're going to play as hard now that they have that loss.
Yeah, big letdown.
Because they don't have as much to play for. I mean, I don't think Notre Dame gets in the playoffs with a loss.
Probably not, but you have to –
and they're rotating 3 quarterbacks, and that's tough.
Then you have 0. You can't have the mentality, though, that you're out of it if you're Notre Dame. You're 14th. If you win out, you're probably going to finish in the top 6.
Yeah, you got a chance. Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? So I think you just got to win out because all these teams aren't going to win because guess what? And their loss is going to come later than yours. And you know what that does to the pollsters? Their memories goes away because they don't remember what happened this week.
They don't have another ranked team on their schedule. I don't think they can get in. I mean, they can't play with that mindset, but
Scott says by Sportsbook today, Michigan is a 3.5-point underdog today.
Wow,
Michigan is
I'd take that.
3.5
Tell him to put some money on that.
Oh, he's got money on it. He wouldn't have been able to tell me.
I'll take Michigan.
He wouldn't have been able to tell me the line if he didn't have money on that one. So you'd take Michigan on the road.
Oh yeah, getting points,
getting 3.5. I probably would too because that's just been Nebraska's mantra. There you go, Mike.
Mantra, good word.
Losing close games lately. Here's one I think's interesting. Number 16, Kentucky at home taking on LSU. LSU is just week to week. You never know what you're going to get with LSU.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you something. I've always liked Orgeron, but he's probably out at the end of the year. You know,
I mean, so.
The man won a national title. They were loaded that year. It's not been – I'll put it this way. I love him, but they're inconsistent.
They
can beat anybody.
You think he's just more fit
but they
to be
can
a coordinator?
lose to anybody. I don't know. You know, he got a national championship, but you know.
Yeah, he had an NFL.
So you're going to turn him out to the Wolves after just 2 years?
I'm going on just all the speculations and all the talk. And there's some good coaches and some good names out there
I think
now
it is time for
that
him to make a
people would
change.
like to scarf up. And I just think one of those good coaches.
You can't go 500 at LSU 2 years in a row.
Cristobal. You know, you might see him leave
Mario
Oregon
Cristobal.
and go to LSU. And there's been some other names thrown around too. Alabama is at Texas A&M. Texas A&M, they found out what the SEC's really like, hadn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of expectations coming into this season. They don't even have a number beside their name now. Where'd they start out? 5th? They don't even have a ranking. Texas A&M is not even ranked.
They
Jimbo.
lost back-to-back
Jimbo
games.
is the highest paid coach in the country.
Arkansas, Mississippi State last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You're going to lose the 3rd in a row.
Yeah, well, think about that. You just said they lost back-to-back games to Arkansas and Mississippi State. You didn't say they lost to Alabama or Auburn or Georgia or LSU or Florida. They lost to the next tier of teams, you know? And you're a ranked team.
The tier that they're on.
Yeah, the tier they're below. At this point. Wow. I mean, that's don't
I
get
hate
me
it because
wrong.
I like Jimbo.
I do too. That's why I was
I
gonna
wish
say,
he had
don't
never
get
left
me
Florida
wrong.
State.
I like Jimbo, but man, it's been tough. It's been how long till they make a move? Paying him a lot of money. Paying him a lot of money. Georgia State's at UL Monroe. Utah's at Southern Cal, where Mike Powell wants to be the coach. New Mexico is at ranked San Diego State, number 25 in the country. UCLA at Arizona. UCLA dropped out of the rankings now. I guess they got that second loss. Is that what happened?
At least 2 losses.
At least 2?
Yeah.
They look pretty good out of the gate.
Yeah, they're 3-2.
But
got beat by Arizona State last week.
And Fresno State, right?
Yeah, Fresno's
not bad, buddy.
Is a team that a lot of people don't.
Well, they played Oregon to the wire. Oregon had to score late to beat them. So, yeah. All right, I'm going to read some text, and then we're going to go to break, and then we're going to come back with high school football.
All right.
Let's see. Here we go. Lenny says, I got Lenny's pulled up here first, and it's going back a ways, okay? Boston then traded Cespedes to Detroit in the offseason for Rick Porcello, which wasn't bad. Porcello's a pretty good pitcher for the Red Sox.
He won a World Series, didn't he?
Yeah. Tampa Bay's team batting averages for the season is .242. Wander Franco leads the team with .288 average. Love the first name, Wander. Mike Price was the head coach at Alabama that never won or lost a game.
Mike Price.
Never won or lost a game, was busted after going to a gentleman's club and inviting – well, he was a gentleman.
Yep.
And inviting a young lady to his hotel.
Yep.
The famous line from a Sports Illustrated exclusive was a quote, "Roll Tide." Mike, tell them OU will be in the SEC for Arch Manning. So there's your recruiting tool. But you know what? They may not get play a game in the SEC till Manning's already in the NFL.
Yeah.
The way things are getting pushed back.
if they go the full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jim Donnan was rumored for the job at Carolina after Carl Torbush was fired.
Right.
But they hired John Bunning. Great move.
Oh, yeah, that worked out.
Donnan was Randy Moss and Chad Pennington's coach at Marshall. So guess what? He had some talent when he was there. And then Rodney said, I get a little fired up every time I hear people talk about Bonds. He was a really good player, but he is no Hank Aaron. Hank Aaron is often overlooked, and I agree with that. His numbers are a lot better than everybody realizes. Hank Aaron is all-time leader in RBIs, total bases, had a better batting average, less strikeouts, more hits, doubles, triples, RBIs, etc. than Bonds. Bonds does have
he played like 30 years, didn't he?
Has 7 more home runs and more walks and stolen bases. Maybe you can discern from the tone of the message, because he did capitalize 7 more, from this message, that Hank Aaron is my childhood hero and my favorite all-time baseball player.
Yep. Makes a good point.
He wasn't juiced either. I'll put it that way.
No, he was
if
not
he was juiced, it was on Varsity hot dogs and hamburgers. And if you ever been there, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
He didn't. Yeah. What did Aaron weigh? About 180 pounds his whole career. He was not a big guy.
Yeah, that's true. All right, we're going to take a timeout. Going to come back with high school football. Don't forget Sportsman Club Barbecue today, 11 to 1 in downtown Maiden. Back in a moment.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver, or visit MooneyInsurance.com. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stiefel Nicholas can assist you. Call Ford Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stiefel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
Gary Glitter. That's who that reminds me of. What's the name of that Gary Glitter song? It's the stadium anthem. You guys remember? I can't remember what it is. Oh, I know
Rock
it
and
is.
Roll
Hey!
Part 2.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
What was part 1 like?
Yeah, I guess it was the first 20 years. I don't know.
Must have been awesome.
Yeah, I don't even know what part 1 was like. Butch says, great night at Maiden last night. Congratulations to the late Mackie Reinhardt, Jamie Pope, and Marty Little. Of course, the late only applies to Mackie Reinhardt. Going up on the wall of distinction last night at Maiden. And Maiden a winner last night. We'll just start right there. Rolled over rival Bandies last night. I don't have the scores pulled up in front of me, but I'm pretty sure I heard this one was 46-0 last night. So Maiden with another dominant win. Lenny's got a trivia question for me. Trivia question today. Who was on deck? Boy, this is going to be a tough one when you want to know who was on deck. Who was on deck?
He's on first.
He was on first.
Well, at this point, he was on deck. He hadn't got to first yet. Who was on deck when – now, this is a Mike question. When Bobby Thompson hit the shot heard around the world and the Giants beat the Brooklyn Dodgers – the New York Giants beat the Brooklyn Dodgers to win the World Series.
The shot heard around the world.
Shot heard around the world. Who was on deck when that happened?
For the which team?
Well, if the Giants hit the home run,
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Willie Mays.
Was that
Bingo!
in the 50s?
Yeah, had to be.
Mike Powell with
got
Willie
it.
Mays.
Mm-hmm.
You knew it had to be somebody substantial,
Yeah.
or he wouldn't have
He wouldn't have
asked
mentioned
the
it.
question.
Yeah.
They said last night was the first time the Giants and Dodgers have ever met in a postseason game.
Yeah.
Giants lead the all-time series 1-0.
But didn't you just say, what did you just say?
That was the Giants and Dodgers, maybe since they've been in California, was that.
Mm-hmm.
They said ever.
Really?
Since they said they've been playing each other for 120-something years.
Oh, well, okay. I got some more stuff to read.
Maybe
I think it was a
Pirate.
I think it was they finished the season tied and they had to play a tiebreaker. I think it was a tiebreaker game.
I can't answer that.
Bill Mazeroski.
Butch said also the 50th reunion of the 1971 state champion Blue Devils. Of course, a Blue Devil win over the Trojans last night. Scott says he just looked it up, and Michigan is now the favorite, still betting them. So Michigan is now, so the line has changed. Michigan was a 3.5-point underdog. Now I wonder what the spread is if they are the favorite. It's probably just a point. If it
couldn't be much more.
Yeah, if it was that. If
You
it
think
was that
Vegas
close.
is listening to our show and they changed it that quick?
That's exactly. Well, they got any sense, right? That's just where.
Did
they
y'all
get
see, before you get started going through these scores, have you seen that somebody scored 91 last night?
No, I have not. Private school?
No. Holmes.
Eden Holmes.
91-50.
Oh my! So they had to have them.
Yeah.
I don't know if they had to have all 91, but I don't know. How's the game get
Leave
like
it
that?
to a team named Holmes.
91-50. Okay, so guess what? They weren't up by the magic number 42.
That's right.
Where you run the clock. They probably were, though. I don't know if they were. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they pulled away late. I don't know. I don't know how you.
Would you want to do a yardstick for that?
How do you have? No, I wouldn't. I don't even want to do the scoring summary.
No.
How often? How many times would you have to have the ball? How many times? Do the math there real quick. Even if you score by 8, you got to have it 12 times?
Well, that's 13.
Mm-hmm.
13 touchdowns.
I mean, that's,
if you're going by sevens.
I wonder if they scored some of those touchdowns either in the kicking game or with the defense. It had to.
They had to. I just don't know how you can have the ball enough. I don't know that I've ever seen a public school score 91 in North Carolina.
It was Currituck County that they beat.
Currituck County. That, my friend, is a lot of points.
And they only scored 14 in the fourth.
Wow.
21, 28, 28,
Which
14.
tells me they were ahead, and it was a running clock at some point. Because once it starts running, just because you get it under 42, it don't stop, or it's not supposed to.
No, it's not.
Once it starts being a running clock, it's supposed to stay running. That's well, the first score I pull up from last night has West Rowan and Monroe canceled. You guys see that one? It's scheduled for last night at 7:30. It don't say postponed either. It uses the word canceled. So I would have thought at this point that would that not be a conference game? Evidently not, because here's one thing I need to know. And Brett, you can probably tell me this. Is Monroe 2A or 3A right now? Aren't they 2A?
I'm pretty sure they're 3A.
Are you?
Yeah, 3A, I'm sure.
Okay. That's something I need to know. I was in discussion about that the other day, and I never did look it up. So I'd like to know if they're 2A or 3A. Walkertown beat North Forsyth 27-13. I got the weird scoreboard again today where it's just showing me one at a time instead of a whole screen. Southeast Guilford beat Southwest Guilford. That's the Falcons over the Cowboys, 28-7. Bet you wouldn't have thought that. Scott says Monroe is 2A.
Yeah, they are 2A.
Yep. I thought they were. So that's another one you better throw in that mix of good teams, moving forward in the playoffs. Lenny goes back to your comment on the baseball, Brett. I think that was to win the National League pennant. There were no playoffs except the World Series, so they won the National League pennant. And then
it was. I think it was a one game. I think it was a one game. Yeah.
Okay.
Tiebreaker.
Yep. And then I get one here that says, tell Brad I saw that too. Over 2,500 games played against each other without ever playing a playoff game, and that comes from Rodney.
Yeah, and they're separated by like 30 wins or something in those 2,500 games.
Oh, they really? Dodgers edge?
No, the Giants were ahead.
Edge. You got some catching up to do.
Yeah.
Southview beat Purnell Sweat 67-6. Pisgah shuts out West Henderson 16-0. Greensboro Page over Western Guilford 42-0. Let's see if we find any we want to talk about. We will. Northern Guilford over Northwest Guilford, 48-14. How many directional schools in Guilford County? That's your trivia question for the day. Mooresville, 42. South Iredell 7. Freedom falls to South Caldwell last night. This is one of the games we picked, and I noticed one person I think did pick Freedom, and Freedom led quite a while in this game, or some. I know they led some in this game. South Caldwell though edges them out at the end, 20-14. Franklin over North Henderson, 40-14. Tuscola shuts out East Henderson, 47-0. West Cabarrus beats A.L. Brown. Probably a crowd at that game last night, 19-8. Of course, West Cabarrus, they didn't have many alumni there, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
You know why, Mike?
New school.
Just seeing.
Yeah.
Maiden rolls over Bandy's 46-0. Remains unbeaten. Moving into next week's Bunker Hill matchup with the Bears still unbeaten at this point too, although they'll play Monday night because they didn't play last night against East Burke. Correct me if I'm wrong, Butch, on that. High Brighton rolls over Ashe County on the road, 38-7. Watauga over Alexander Central, 28-21. Thomasville over South Davidson, 63-0. Thomasville making some noise this year as well, playing after being down a couple years, playing pretty good. West Davidson over Lexington, 13-12. Kings Mountain over South Point, 24-7. Surprised? Anybody?
Well, it pretty much does end South Point's playoff hopes. They're now 2-2 in the Big South.
No, they're going to playoffs. They may not be in the automatic category, but I think they'll be in the playoffs.
But even though, okay, they still have some tough games left.
Tell me one.
They got Forest View still.
Forest View left.
That'd be tough.
Still got
I think
Ashbrook
they
left.
win.
You don't think that'll be that
No.
tough? So now Kings Mountain and Crest are
Kramer
now tied.
played Ashbrook on Thursday night and won by 2 or 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. Okay, so Kings Mountain and Crest are tied at the top,
and
at
they'll be
4-0.
above them. And I think South Point's likely to finish third, and I think they finish with a good enough record to get a berth. I mean, there'll probably be 4 to 5 teams out of that conference go, don't you think?
Well, at least 3, I would think.
At least 3.
But I will say
Forest
this.
View, I would think Forest View
South
even get
Point's
in.
not in the running for the title.
Not now.
No, not now.
Not now because the 2 teams ahead of them, they've already lost to.
So they're 2 back of the 2 teams they've lost to.
North Davidson beat Oak Grove 27-24. Shelby holds off Crest, jumped out to a 28-7 lead by half.
Mm-hmm.
It got to 35-28. Shelby gets a field goal with about, I want to say, 4 minutes to go maybe. Stretches it back to 10 and holds on 38-28. Shelby wins that game. I would love to see the all-time winning one-loss record between Shelby and Crest. All 4 Cleveland County schools. I'd like to see what their records are against each other. I'm sure Shelby's got the upper hand on everybody, but I just wonder who the closest is. Who would you say is the closest to them? Crest?
Probably Crest.
Yeah.
They've been more consistent, I think.
And the school hasn't been around as long either, to where, I mean, I don't think, not around like Kings Mountain has. And,
Kings Mountain's the second oldest out of the 4.
I would think so.
Yeah, probably so.
I would think so. I know Burns was built in the 60s.
Yep.
And Crest, I'm not exactly sure, but I think around the same time, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Trying to find some you'll be interested in. East Lincoln, a big night last night for Lincoln County. East Lincoln wins 57-0 over Fred T. Ford.
Let me ask you this, David, before you continue.
I'm not sure.
About Tyler Mizell. Okay.
I knew where you were going.
Yeah.
Not sure if he played or not.
That's another one of those games where I see a lot of points early and think, well, he must have played. But then, that I thought that last week and he didn't play. And they really don't need him.
They don't
for some
need
of these
him
games.
during this stretch of games.
But you don't want to bring him back.
It would be good to get
for
him
a
back
big
for these
game,
games,
and it'd be his first game back.
Yeah, I mean, right now there's probably there's a chance that East and North could be playing the final night of the regular season for second place.
Second place.
Yeah. And I would want him back a game
or at least
before
a sheriff's
that North
second.
Lincoln game if he's able.
Right.
Wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want that to be his first game back.
Yep. Well, I'll see if I can find out at some point here, maybe on our next break, if we get one, if he did play last night or not.
So are we conceding pretty Statesville, having already knocked off North Lincoln and East Lincoln?
Yeah, they can't.
Only chance to lose is Hickory.
Yeah.
And they hold the tiebreaker over North and East.
North and
so
East,
you
so.
tell me.
Yeah, I think it's.
It could end in a 3-way tie, possibly.
Yeah, not likely. Statesville's better than Hickory right now. I mean, I'll just tell you, Statesville's better. That don't mean they'll win.
And you never know
But
about
right now,
COVID
they're
or
better.
injuries.
Yeah.
Or, you know.
Yep. True. Yeah, ask East Lincoln.
Yeah.
They can tell you how quick it can turn on injuries. AC Reynolds 35, Irwin 14. Wake Forest beat Wakefield 40-24. Poor announcer trying to do that one on the radio. South Johnston over Southern Wayne 62-14. Weddington rolls over Porter Ridge. Again, Weddington, names change on the back, wins continue, right? 27-7. Sun Valley over Piedmont 42-14. North Meck 21, West Meck 16. North Lincoln, the game I was at, they had a hard time getting going. They just struggled early offensively. But defense played well throughout, and they were in control of the game. Never in doubt. North Lincoln wins 26-0 over St. Stephen's. Don't know the number. I got to get the number, but I found out last night that Nick Basil became the all-time winningest coach at North Lincoln.
Wow.
With that win last night.
How many years is it?
So,
Well, what,
I
5, 6 years?
I need to find out. Yes, I don't even think it's that many. I need to find out what the number is on his wins.
Well, yeah, and one thing, not many coaches had longevity
Right.
at North before him. And Matt Beam wasn't there a very long time.
Right. And I'm sure that's who he passed.
Pike wasn't there
I would guess.
long. Yeah.
New Bern defeated Northside Jacksonville 70-20 last night. It was let's see, Millbrook over Roseville 41-34. Try to find some Western scores here. All I got down at the coast. Providence beat Independence 44-12. Huff over West Charlotte 37-17. Hopewell falls to Chambers. Chambers with the big bounce back 67-0 over Hopewell last night. Havelock, how about this one? Jacksonville defeats Havelock last night. I don't know if Havelock had a loss or not. 3 touchdowns last night. Jacksonville 35, Havelock 14. Obviously, that's not the Jaguars. Myers Park defeated Harding 37-0. McDowell over Inca 36-7 last night. And I just realized something here. Something I did that I don't normally do. I pulled up the reason my scoreboard is wrong is I pulled up the wrong thing. I hope all those were correct. Somebody will tell me. I should already had a text if I'm wrong, but that was not my typical Max Prep scoreboard. That was ScoreStream.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna tell you something that's very confusing about ScoreStream. Have you guys ever used it?
Yeah. I use it every Friday.
Yeah. Do you know what can be very confusing about it? They put JV scores on the same page.
Oh, yeah, they're all.
And it's in fine print
Yeah.
under the score. It's in fine print.
Yeah, I always look to see it. It tells the game, the date and the start time for the game under it. So I always look at that and make sure it says the right date.
Well, but now you got to remember this though. It's not so much the date because you had both varsity and JV going on.
Yeah,
because of the weather. So that kind of, I would see a score and then I'd look under it and I would say, wait a minute, and then I'd see it was JV because I thought, that's a shocker if that particular team won. Asheville beat TC Robeson 42-7. Central Cabarrus over East Rowan 13-7. Huff over West Charlotte 37-17. North Iredell Hickory, that one's been moved to Monday night. Let's see. 52-0. Forest Hills defeated Anson County. Remember when Anson County was a power?
Mm-hmm. The 4A
in high
power.
school football. And Steve K wants to know if you're heading to breakfast, Mike Powell.
I will be, yes.
Let's see. Moving on through the scores here from last night. We're going to get into the local ones here in just a minute. AC Reynolds 35, Irwin 14. Don't know if they gave that one out already or not. South Meck loses to Ardrey Kell 21-17. West Iredell Statesville also moved to Monday night. You're going to have a handful of games if you're interested in attending a game on Monday night because you got Hickory playing, you got Statesville playing, and you have Bunker Hill and playing their game on Monday night. Butler beat Rocky River 39-8. That one was played last night. No score on Charlotte Catholic and Garinger. Did I see that one was weather-related or not? Mountain Island Charter beat Christ the King 60-6. Already give you both North and East. Both won by shutout last night. In 4 games last night, Lincoln County gave up 14 points. The 4 Lincoln County teams gave
pretty good defensive average.
Gave up 14 points, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't run across the other 2 scores here yet, but I think I know. What they were. Heritage beat Knightdale. You ready for this one? Buzzer beater. Hit a 3 at the buzzer. 57-55. Heritage over Knightdale. 57-55. Of course, still looking for that one. I'm sure that one's on here that Brett told me. If not, we'll let him give it in a minute. Olympic. Back to the football field last night. You guys know I sent you a message this week that Olympic last week had a sexual assault in the school. The player that was
alleged
was arrested though. Was forced to play last Friday night with an ankle bracelet in that contest. Olympic wins last night over Berry 26-14. Newbern, already give that one. Newbern, Davie County, no score reported. Mountain Heritage, I saw this score somewhere. It's not on here. I'm on the Max Prep now.
Yeah.
It's not on here, but Mountain Heritage did beat Avery County rather soundly last night. Chase and Brevard, I think that one was moved to Monday. Murphy beat Hayesville 56-14. Lincoln over West Caldwell 27-7.
Game was
again. No, it wasn't. Again, Mike Powell, Lincoln trailed at half. Third straight game, they trailed at half.
Yeah. And the third straight time they've come back and won.
And third straight game,
so
they've won when
the
trailing at the
theme
half.
continues.
Yeah, it seemed that their offense gets going in the second half, which I'm assuming it was offense last night. It could have been defense or special teams that scored some.
I heard they were had a lot of penalties.
Yeah,
I heard they had a lot of penalties in the game last night, and that set them back. Yes, Bunker Hill at East Burke, it says here, will be Monday. Patton at RS Central looks like Monday. Hunter Huss and Forest View, no score. Did you guys see a score on Hunter Huss Forest View? I know Forest View was probably the winner in that one. I hate to say it that way, but they're heavily favored going into the game. No score on Wilkes Central and North Wilkes. Rosman and Owen, no score. Watauga, I've already give you. They had a 7-point winner. I tell you, since their quarterback return, I don't know if they've lost a game since they got their quarterback back. Kings Mountain.
Forest View and Huss will play Monday.
Monday?
Yeah.
Let's see. T.W. Andrews falls to West Stokes 20-12. Surrey Central over Forbush 17-12. Salisbury. You want to guess what the opponent had?
0.
Good deal. How many is that now? 49-0 this time. That's 5 or 6 shutouts for Salisbury on the season on the defensive side. Burns did not have 0. They scored 64. They beat Thomas Jefferson 64-7. This Thomas Jefferson team, not a bad team either. That's a pretty good, pretty sound win for Burns. West Cabarrus, I've already give you. Mooresville I gave. Franklin I gave over North Henderson. Newton Con over West Lincoln. How many games is West Lincoln going to play that come down to the final possession for the winner?
3 weeks in a row.
Is it? I mean, it's just amazing. Last night, 7-7, they go to overtime, and help me out here. I got all the details from Rodney last night. He was doing a really good job of sending me play-by-play. I was glancing at it while I was driving up the road. Don't tell me.
Well, in overtime, Newton had the ball first, and West Lincoln stopped them on 4th and goal, which I was kind of surprised Newton didn't try a field goal. It was 4th and goal from the 8.
Right.
And then West Lincoln scored on their second play.
Avery.
The call I heard on the radio was a direct snap to Avery, and he ran it in from like 8 or 9 yards out.
Yep. another overtime game.
Well, here's the thing
for
that
West
worries you
Lincoln.
about West Lincoln, though. They just haven't been able to score a lot of points in their last 3 games. 14, 8, and 13.
And lost 2 of those.
Lost 2 of them.
Yeah, lost 2
so
of those.
They needed that win. They didn't need
Yeah.
to lose 3 in a row.
They did.
Playoff hopes now still good.
Yeah, but they
for
still got
West.
some games. They still got to play Lincoln.
They get Lincoln at home in the finale.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think who
that'll have some play. Could have some playoff implications.
But now West Caldwell is in there.
Have they played East Burke yet?
Don't think so.
No.
You know.
Well, they've already played Maiden, Bunker Hill, and Bandy's,
Yes.
and Newton.
So that's all that's left.
Yeah.
Those 3.
West Caldwell.
We're down to 3
East
now.
Burke, and Lincoln.
We're
down
in,
to 3.
we're in the second week. Yeah,
Down to 3
October.
weeks left of the regular season. Mentioned High Brighton's win. How about Cherryville last night? Good to see Coach Pruitt and the Ironmen get back in the win column, 50-14.
Had to
last
win
night
that one
over Highland Tech.
Highland beat Highland Tech for their second victory of the season.
Swain County over Andrews, 21-12. Reagan over West Forsyth. That's a big win for Reagan now, right? Big step forward to be able to beat one of the perennial powers in West Forsyth last night, 15-9. Defensive battle. As we told you earlier, Maiden rolled over Bandy's, another shutout for the Blue Devils, 46-0 in that one. Mount Airy 49, North Stokes nothing. Tuscola over East Henderson 47-0. East Gaston over Bessemer 48-28. I think that was Thursday night. For some reason, I think it was Thursday. Thomasville over South Davidson 63-0. Lexington 13, West Davidson 12. We already mentioned South Caldwell hanging on to beat Freedom. South Caldwell quietly, aren't they like 5-1? You know, pretty good record. Up there for the Spartans. 20-14 last night over Freedom. Eastern Randolph over Trinity 43-7. Jack Britt over Fayetteville 71st. Nope, I got that one backwards. 71st a winner over Jack Britt 21-14. So I don't think I really saw anything on the scoreboard that just blew me away. And I did not find your score, Brett. Tell it again. The big high score, 91 points.
Edenton Holmes scored 91. Beat Currituck County 91-50.
91.
And I tried to find some stats and I haven't been able to find anything.
That's because they're still figuring them up.
Yeah. Kind of hesitant to search John Holmes on anything.
I would be. they broke a couple calculators adding the stats in that contest last night. Burns and Crest were built in the mid-'60s. Back in the old days, there were 3 school systems in Cleveland County: Shelby City, Kings Mountain City, and Cleveland County. Yeah, all consolidated now. That comes from Lenny. Okay, guys. I mean, you know, here we are on high school football. Nothing out of the ordinary today.
No.
There's just nothing out of the ordinary this morning, or nothing that's like, you know, wow, did you see that? Or did you see that score? Other than the 150 points being scored down east in that game. But, you know, I mean, just around here locally, I mean, you know, a few rain outs. If you want to go to a game on Monday, you should get your wish. I don't know why. I can tell I'm getting older, you know. I don't like to go as much as I did to the games and stuff. I mean, it used to be whenever high school football come around, I wanted it to rain on Friday, and some teams play.
Yeah.
And then some more play on Saturday.
And then another one on
and
Monday.
then more on and I'd do it. I would do it. I would go to these games and watch
Those
all these
days.
teams. But
Well, you know, last year we went to 2 games.
I need to sleep a little more.
We went to 2 games on a Saturday last year.
Yes, we did. And
Wow.
neither one of them were at night.
Yeah.
Neither one of them were at
My
night.
Lord.
Lincoln and West Lincoln played early, and then Maiden and North Lincoln played, I guess,
During
mid-afternoon.
the COVID season in the spring, Saturday games were just fairly routine. I know I covered 2 or 3 myself on Saturday
Yeah.
afternoon.
I saw one good game that's going to be Monday is Davie County and Mount Tabor. Both of those teams are pretty good. I don't think anybody's going to drive there on a Monday, but
No.
Yep. Let's see. Rodney says, tell Brett. I saw that too. Over 2,500 games played against each other. Oh, that's the previous one. Here it is, popped up. punters from the West Lincoln Newton Conover game probably need to ice down their legs today. That's what Rodney says. But you know what? I was always told, Rodney, never think that punting is a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because if you end a series, and I got to get Rodney straightened out. He sent me something last night that said West Lincoln turns the ball over on downs, punted the ball to the so-and-so. And I said, well, now, wait a minute.
Couldn't have done both.
Right. If you turn it over on downs, that means there is no punt.
Yeah, I heard there were a couple fake punts in that game. Newton turned the ball over inside, in their own territory a couple times, and West Lincoln couldn't capitalize. It seemed like West Lincoln every time they got something going, they would have a penalty that would move them back and kind of kill their drive.
But I always remember.
And I don't. Maybe field conditions had something to do with the lack of offense, or maybe it was just really good defense on both sides.
Yeah, it must not have rained in Eden. In Edenton. In Edenton. If field conditions played in a lack of offense, it did not rain a drop, and they must have played in a dome.
Yeah. Arena League. They put in a 50-yard field.
So we're through.
I want to go back to the punting just a minute, because if the guy told me, he said, if you're able to punt, number one, you didn't turn it over. You might have gained 35 to 40 yards of field position. The punt is not a bad thing. The punt is not a bad thing. Just remember that. As long as you don't snap it over the punter's head and they recover it, or you shank it. There are some things that can go wrong, but while field goals in high school, what percentage of field goals would you guys say are made in high school? What percentage of field goals are made?
Got to be under 50%.
Yeah, I would think so too.
And
punts, however, are normally successful.
I think West Lincoln did. West Lincoln
by 85%.
tried a field goal toward the end of regulation.
Come up just
to
short.
win it, and it was
I got
short.
a message.
Yeah.
Let me
I think
ask
it was
you
about
this.
35
was that,
yards.
By
The female kicker, Primer.
Primer?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Said it was just short.
Yeah.
Could have gave him the lead.
35 yards.
Yeah,
That's maybe
36.
A
I think I was told 36.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't a. Yeah, it wasn't a.
I wish
wasn't a
you
chip
could have got
shot.
that. I pulled
Yeah.
Breaking news from the NFL. It don't tell what year, but it says as possibly as early as next year, the NFL will play a game in Germany.
Cool.
Good, bad, indifferent?
Doesn't matter.
There's a game tomorrow morning at 9:30.
There is.
Because it's in London.
Yeah.
And it is Atlanta and
It's not Jacksonville, is it? It's somebody pretty bad, I think.
funny. I mean, why can't I remember who that was? Do you like Sunday morning?
No.
No.
No,
I don't like the
it at
games in London.
No.
Yeah.
I think the home team's it's the Jets. Atlanta and the Jets.
Okay. Well, the Jets looked pretty good last week for a change.
I don't like the fans of the home team having to miss
a
game.
I agree.
Yeah, and will we really ever put a team? Will we ever force players to live in London?
I hope
I don't think we'll ever have an NFL team in
yeah,
Europe. Do you?
Yep, Rodney
well,
says
I wouldn't say never, but
yeah. I mean, let's face it. I don't think we'll ever put a team in Canada because the NFL respects Canadian football enough not to do
CFL,
that to
that's
them.
right.
But that's a little different because it's just
If there was a team in Canada, the players wouldn't mind going there to play.
No.
right. But when
I
you're in
don't
Europe,
think these players will sign with
they won't. They'll never sign a free agent.
a team in Europe.
They'll never sign a free agent. And they might lose half their draft picks. Who say, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go over there and live for 8 months a year. It'd have to be about 8 months when you figure everything in.
Oh, yeah.
Thursday night, Rams over the Seahawks, 26-17. Bigger story was the injury to Russell Wilson. Now going to miss some time.
broken finger.
Geno Smith going to step in and be fine or not?
He didn't look that bad.
No.
But that's not a good way to put it.
No.
When you put it that way, it means no.
he looks good for Geno Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's nice. That's
And
basically what you just
also
told me. She's nice.
consider the division, the strength
Yeah,
of the
there's-
division that the
I don't think they
Seahawks
have
are in.
any chance.
Yeah, it's a tough division. The AFC West and the NFC West are the two best divisions in football right now. I mean, you look at the Raiders, Chargers, Chiefs, and Broncos and the records of those teams right now. The worst one in there, right? One loss
Mm-hmm.
No, the Chiefs have 2 losses.
they
They have
do.
two.
Believe it or not, it's Kansas City that has 2 losses. And then you look at the NFC West with the Rams, the Seahawks, undefeated, only team undefeated, Arizona Cardinals. And which one have I left out? San Francisco. What a division.
Huh.
I mean, what 2 divisions? I mean, this is really good. And there's never a dull moment because the Seahawks had to play the 49ers on Sunday and the Rams on Thursday. 49ers.
San Francisco and Arizona play
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah. I
San
mean,
Francisco has as good of a roster as any of them, but I think they have the worst quarterback out of the
well,
4.
that's changing tomorrow. New starter.
Well, with Russell Wilson out, it's going to
Bringing
change
in
too.
the
Trey
the-
Lance.
the draft pick. Yeah, Lance.
Trey Lance.
but he's still not as good as Stafford or Kyler Murray.
No,
No, we don't know, and I don't think he is either.
Well, he's definitely not going to be
We don't
this
know the
year. He's
answer
not
to
going to be
that,
as
yeah.
good as those 2.
Jets Falcons tomorrow morning for breakfast. Hopefully it won't make you throw up.
is that breakfast at Wimbledon?
9:30 a.m. This is not tennis, Mike.
Oh, I'm
They're-
sorry.
they're-
Oh.
I know
The breakfast at Wembley.
Wembley, not Wimbledon.
I don't know if that's where they're playing or not.
most likely the Jets and the Falcons both 1-3. Honestly, the winner of this game isn't sitting too bad. One of them's going to be 2-3
Yeah.
after 5 games. I mean that
How many of you guys thought that at the beginning the top 5 rookie quarterbacks would be starting at this point in the season?
are they?
Yeah, but now with Trey
Yeah, Fields is
Lance.
going to make his first
Yeah.
start
Fields,
tomorrow.
No, that's
Wilson.
This is what's the coach over there for the Bears? This is his last chance at
and Nagy.
Nagy, yeah.
Yeah, Nagy. It'd be a
Nagy,
good way
just
to put it. Yeah. Packers Bengals, good matchup tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
On early Lions Vikings. Honestly, I feel so bad for the Lions. You know, I mean the kick 2 Sundays ago, that was devastating
It was.
when Justin Tucker hit that
Yeah.
100-yard field goal.
Do the Bengals have a shot at?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
The
I
Bengals are
think
3-1
so.
playing
They're
at
pretty good.
home. I'd say the Bengals are favored.
Okay.
It says Green Bay by 3, but I'm gonna tell you right now. Of course, home field hasn't been as much this year. It's 500 or less for home field teams at this point.
I don't think it's that
Long way
big
to
a
go.
deal in the NFL.
Here's the team that's struggling the most: the Steelers.
Oh,
Need time to get a quarterback. The Broncos playing in Pittsburgh. I don't know if Pittsburgh will score against that Bronco
well,
defense.
they bring in Najee Harris, and they figure that's the only thing they need to do. But they need to do a lot more because Big Ben is.
Ben's had it. He's had his day,
He
but his
has.
day has ended.
Bad offensive line.
Yep. Yeah, when you got a bad offensive line, the quarterback that can't
Looks
move under
worse.
pressure, it's bad.
Yeah.
Not a good combination. Dolphins at Bucks, Battle of Florida tomorrow. Saints. Which Saints team shows up? Saints and Washington. New Orleans looked like a Super Bowl team.
It seems like
twice.
they're good every other week.
They've looked like it's
And
tough break for
Tomorrow's
you.
their turn to be good.
Tough break for you.
They
because
look
got
bad against
Washington tomorrow.
the Giants.
They look
the
bad
G-Men.
against the Giants and Charlotte.
Yeah.
Carolina
Oh,
just
yeah.
destroyed them in week 2.
26-7.
But the other 2 games, they look like a Super Bowl team. Don't know what you're going to get
Is
there.
that what you get with Jameis Winston at the helm?
I think
At
so.
QB?
Probably. Eagles, Panthers.
What do you think?
McCaffrey's back.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the Panthers' chances at home, especially coming off a loss. Their defense was embarrassed. They said it. They admitted, we are not going to do that again. We were embarrassed. We should never give up that many points to the Cowboys. That's what they said. So we'll see how they play tomorrow. And and they're playing a good team to improve on defense because the Eagles, they don't score a lot.
No.
Not at this point. Jags at home against the Titans. The Urban Meyer saga continues. Patriots at Texans. Bears at Raiders. Browns at Chargers. I heard that
It's a good matchup.
Labrum. I started to say Johnny Manziel, but it's not. It's help me with his name.
Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield. Partially torn labrum on the non-throwing side. Fortunately for him.
Wasn't he
But I'm
involved
gonna tell you
in
right now.
Tackle.
Yeah, that's what he did. Yeah, trying to make. Don't throw picks. Don't have to tackle. Right.
Yeah.
Chargers is one of the teams I'm most impressed with this season. I mean, they could easily be 4-0 at this point. Lost a nail biter to Dallas a couple weeks ago. But then again, it's the NFL. You could probably easily be 1-3. You know what I mean?
That's, every game's like that.
But they, their coach looks like he's about 17, 18 years old. But got a couple of those in the NFL right now. The Packers coach looks kind of the same. But, I like to where the Chargers are headed. It's just tough for them because they play in the best division, probably one of the 2 best divisions anyway in football. Giants at Cowboys, 49ers at Cardinals. That's probably your highlight day tomorrow in the NFL is 49ers at Cardinals. Even though the 49ers are just 2-2, almost a must-win this early for them. Buffalo, who I'm very impressed with as well. The Bills look really good. Go to the Chiefs. Can they win a big game like that on the road against a team that badly needs a win? I'd feel better about the Bills tomorrow if the Chiefs were 4-0.
Yeah.
You know,
if those teams, both those teams,
they're hungry.
They've got to win that game.
And then the Ravens. I don't know how they keep doing it, but they're 3-1. They play at home on Monday night against the Colts. The Colts come back last week and got a big win for them. One much needed for the Colts. That's going to do it for us today. Don't forget, a couple games coming up on Monday night. Big slate of college football day, baseball playoffs. You got it all right now. It's pretty good.
Rocks,
it's pretty good. Rocktober.
Rocktober.
For Brett Mike, I'm David. See you next week.